Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Tuesday. Lightly raining this afternoon and evening with a wind at 18 miles per hour coming out of the east-northeast and a high of 63. Tonight, look for light showers with a temperature near 58. Tomorrow, a high around 66 and very heavily raining. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Kitchen Designs Group is excited to announce their new location, 7934 Front Beach Road, Panama City Beach. They offer full-service kitchen and bathroom cabinetry, countertops, and flooring. Plus, they also offer cash and carry. Take your cabinets home today. Let Claudia and Marshall help make your dreams of a new kitchen or bathroom come true. Call Kitchen Designs Group, 850-775-4150 to schedule your free consultation or visit their website, kitchendesignsgroup.com. Cash and carry only applies to the Schaefer White.
Now open Saturdays, 9 to 2.
There are 3 great Barefoot locations. Barefoot on the Bay in St. Andrews, plus Barefoot on the Beach and the Barefoot Hideaway Grill, both on PCB's famous Front Beach Road. Whichever location you visit, you'll find great food, amazing specialty drinks, and the Emerald Coast best views. The football games will be on with awesome game day food and cocktail specials. And go now to barefootrestaurants.com to get a digital coupon for 15% off your entire bill. Barefoot, great food, drinks, fun, and games.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in wash scent beads.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of Sports Talk Radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now, we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Tuesday morning. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You got everything situated there, Jay?
We
Hanley?
are good to go.
All right, good. I know you were struggling there a little bit,
yes,
but you're listening live and local on 104.3 Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. As always, you can watch us live on Facebook, Twitter, X, and YouTube. Watch us or listen, whatever you prefer. And if you want to listen, you download that free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. Just search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Click that Listen Live button on ESPNPC.com. You can also download the free... Sorry, I got distracted by Sailor. She's so cute when she bounces around. She jumps over all the partitions here in the studio. But you doing all right on this Tuesday morning?
Mighty fine, Ryan. How you doing?
And here's a perfect example, right? The weather, everybody thought it was going to be terrible. We didn't have a lot of people book tee times. But if you would have went out and played golf this morning, it would have been absolutely fine. Y'all had the Florida Panhandle Golf Therapy Alliance, right?
Yep. We a few showed up, but
hey,
you only need 2 for a party.
That's true.
So yeah, we had a party this morning.
There you go.
Yeah.
You have more than 2, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do. We had like 6 or 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good turnout. That is for sure. But yeah. We got to check in on the Bills Mafia this morning and see how they're doing. But a few public service announcements before we really get going. It is here already, and that is the first men's ministry Man Up event. That's going to be tonight from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. right there at First Baptist Church in Panama City. That's at 640 Grace Avenue. They're going to have guest speaker, former Georgia football coach Mark Richt there tonight, amongst many other awesome opportunities, some cool games and showcasing some local businesses. But come out, formerly known as the Wild Game Supper. Again, that's the Man Up event. That's at the First Baptist Church there in Panama City and part of the First Men's Ministry starting at 5 p.m. tonight. So head on out there if you want to have a great time and listen to Coach Mark Richt speak as well. Also want to mention coming up on the 24th and 25th of this month, the Lynn Haven Elite presents the Powerhouse of the Panhandle Bowl. It's going to be $100 per team. Qualifiers on Friday, championships on Saturday. All you got to do is register there with the Lynn Haven Elite, and there's several teams already signed up for that one. So another great tournament opportunity right here in the backyard here in Bay County. Yes, so sir. I also know they're looking for someone to do some announcements or announce the games on Saturday as well. So again, that's the Lynn Haven Elite. You can reach out to them for more information, but that is open to all kids age 5 to 12 there at the Lynn Haven Powerhouse of the Panhandle Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Coach Mike sent me that over. I told him I'd get that word out there as continuing trying to build up that youth sports here, youth football, especially in Bay County, so we can keep that pipeline going.
Yep.
What kind of announcing we talking about?
I know. That's what he said. We're looking for an announcer. So, but yeah, you've got something coming up on Saturday that I'm participating in.
Yes, you are.
You got any spots left, or are we full?
Let me give you your tee time over the air here.
Dang. Yeah. Don't screw me.
All right. Your tee time is 1:28.
What group out is that?
That is like third out.
Is Chris Kramer ahead of me?
Yeah, they're at, let's see.
Chris, if you're listening, don't play slow.
Yeah. Nope. They're at 137.
Ooh, all right. We won't play slow.
Right.
Who we paired up with?
You are with Brandon Whitaker and Cash Whitaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old's Cash?
Cash is, let's see. How old is Cash? Let's take a look here.
Obviously in our division, which is the 8 to 10-year-old division.
Yeah, but, I've got a few...
crossovers?
A few crossovers.
Yeah, because if you don't have an even number in there.
Cash is 9.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Liam's 9?
Yeah.
I don't know how old Brandon is, but it'll be a good time.
It will be.
Looking forward to playing some... I'm playing golf in a hot minute.
Yeah, I'm pushing you out there.
I'm trying to remember the last time I played golf, now that I think about that. I had to have been in a scramble, right?
Was it PCB Chamber of Commerce tournament?
That was in April. No, I've played golf since then.
Okay, good.
Hopefully. No, I played in the Ellis Family fundraiser there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that was a month and a half ago, but that's about right. I haven't even swung a club since then.
It's
a scramble. I'll just Liam's just got to get us in position. He hits it on the green. I'll make the putt.
I say this all the time. You can't hide talent.
It's true.
So,
it's true. But there's no running in golf.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to swing a golf club.
That's true. But yeah, parent-child tournament this Saturday. I mean, we're full.
We're full. There you go. Congratulations.
Sunlight is not our friend.
No. It is that time of year where it's dark.
It
early.
is.
But
we may make bogey our friend Saturday to kind of help.
I think that's probably a good idea.
So when you get to bogey, pick it up.
Because if you're making a bogey in a scramble anyway, you're probably not contending.
True.
On a typical 4-person scramble.
Right.
Anyway, this is a little different. Just a 2-person scramble there. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have Doc A. It is it's Tuesday. I was trying to get Brad Law on today as well, the Director of Broadcast Operations for Auburn, but he is traveling with the basketball team as they have a game Thursday, a big game, I believe. Who was it against off the top of my head? They're playing Notre Dame at Notre Dame.
Ooh, they had Baylor earlier.
They did. Baylor was their first game of the season. They didn't come out on top in that one. They're 1-1 so far on the season, but had some promise from their freshman Holloway. He scored 19 points, and they led the team in scoring that game against Baylor, but there was another freshman for Baylor that was an absolute superstar. So, but it's hard to. I mean, college basketball season this time of year kind of blends into everything else, kind of like NBA and hockey, and until football really ends, it takes precedent. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of precedent, did you watch any of that game last night?
I did. Can I rant for just a second?
Yes. Well, first off, you were a Falcons fan. You divorced the Falcons, and now you're a Bills fan. Yeah. And look what's happening to the Bills.
I mean, they're 500.
500 doesn't get you nothing.
They have a 33% chance of getting into the playoffs at this point. 2 weeks ago, they had a 95% chance.
Well, and that means they got a 66.7% chance of not making the playoffs.
My rant.
Go ahead, ran away.
All right. Let's see. What's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
Well, interference. Right? Pass interference. If you underthrow a ball, there should be no interference on the defense, in my opinion. And that's what changed the ball game last night, is they did the defense. Well, obviously the 12 men on the field.
And Josh Allen turning the ball over 100 times.
True.
Leading the league in turnovers and interceptions.
Yeah. But, I mean, you shouldn't, if you underthrow a pass, and that's just my thought on it. But anyway, there's my rant for today.
Now you see that often. In the Niners-Jags game, Trevor Lawrence underthrew one. I forget who it was. I think it was to Christian Kirk. And there was some contact, and they didn't call it. It's a judgment call, just like everything else in the NFL. But yes, how crazy. Back and forth a while, and then the end of the game, while most people were sleeping, they have a chance to win on the field goal. Will Lutz misses it, and then they have 12 men out there.
Yeah.
Damar Hamlin was one of those 12 men. If you
he did. I saw that, yeah.
So then gave him another chance. They kicked the field goal. They won, knocking the Bills down to 5-5.
But after he missed one or two extra points Lutz last night, I was wondering if he was going to make that last one, to be honest
obviously
with you.
He had to. And Will used to come out, and he's a member out there at Watersound. He used to come out and play all the time when he was the Saints kicker.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's still in this neck of the woods or not, but yeah. But he won. They got it done.
Hey.
12 men on the field.
How do you do that?
With as many coaches as you have and assistants and coordinators and all these people, you would think that somebody would have caught that and called a timeout. Maybe they didn't have a timeout.
They didn't have a timeout.
I was sleeping.
But it seems like they kept downing the ball.
Then you false start, right?
Yeah.
Stop it.
False start, yeah. But why were they downing the ball, it seems? It's like they didn't have no talent. Anyways.
Because they didn't have any timeouts.
So the Bills had 2 timeouts. So the Broncos put the ball in the middle of the field to get the positioning that the kicker wanted. And then the Bills take a timeout. So they wasted the Bills' timeouts. And the whole point of that is when you kick that ball, how often do we see in the NFL, you leave even 10 seconds, something could happen.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Go ahead and get it as close as you can. So they had it there with they kicked it with the clock running.
Yes, because there was like 17 seconds left when they got set, and then they had some time. It rolled down, and then they kicked it with like 4, and I think the penalty then occurred for 12 men on the field.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That is
terrible.
It's just at the highest level of sport. I just feel like that's something that shouldn't happen, and it does. Stuff happens, mistakes are made, but when you're on Monday Night Football and you're under the critical lens of everybody, they are getting absolutely roasted.
Well, that's the lesson for the kids, though, is and coaches alike, but these things happen. And if it's happening at the NFL level, why are we going berserk when it happens at the lower levels?
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, that's true.
Great point. But the odds now to win the Super Bowl that was week 10? So now we're entering week 11. Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are plus 500. The San Francisco 49ers have moved to plus 500. And the Philadelphia Eagles are plus 575, followed by the Ravens at plus 1,000. It goes on and on and on. But what do you think, Jay Henley?
I don't want to see. Well, we got Chiefs-Eagles Monday night.
Yep.
We could have Chiefs-Eagles again in January or February. I mean, let's mix it up a little bit. Come on, 49ers.
I know.
I mean,
that's right.
seriously.
If we can stay healthy, that's the name of the game. That's for sure.
It's not like that mixes it up a whole ton either, because it was the 49ers Chiefs not too long ago. So as long as the Chiefs, Eagles, or 49ers are in it, it's maintaining.
Yes, it's pretty much the same thing. But hey, don't count out those Dallas Cowboys. They're on what's that? DraftKings. They are currently plus 1,000 there. Might be a good future bet.
That would be. Yeah.
Look up the MVP odds as well. It's got to be Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, right?
I would be curious to see if Mahomes was up there at the top, because statistically speaking, he's not having that great of a season. I would say Lamar's going to be up there. Joe Burrow he probably dropped a little bit this week, even though he had a good game stat-wise. I would say Lamar, but, man, I'm interested.
Here you go.
Now. Yeah.
Yep. Patrick Mahomes, plus 275. Jalen Hurts, plus 300. Lamar Jackson, plus 600. Tua Tagovailoa, plus 600. Big jump up to the next group of people. You got Josh Allen at plus 1,400. Joe Burrow at plus 1,800. C.J. Stroud enters the conversation at plus 2,000. Christian McCaffrey, the only non-quarterback in this top group, at plus 3,000. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy also plus 3,000. But who do you think ends up winning it, Jay?
I don't know. I was just thinking about Saturday. It's so random. You were talking about Mahomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they get your bag out of your at your car at Shark's Tooth, there's a dude that looks like Patrick Mahomes, literally. Like everybody calls him Patrick because he looks like him. But anyways,
does he talk like Kermit the Frog?
Kinda.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't Patrick Mahomes?
No, that's what I thought. I was like, is this Patrick Mahomes?
Could be.
But anyways, they tease him because he's got the haircut. He looks like him. Anyways, it's random.
Yeah. Did somebody throw a football on his hand and see what happened?
They said that somebody's done that before, and he doesn't have the talent that Patrick does.
Well, obviously, because he's not playing on the field.
And the ladies supposedly don't, flock to him like
Did the ladies flock to Patrick?
I mean, you would think.
He's been with Brittany since he was in high school.
Oh, he's got okay.
You still haven't watched Quarterback, have you?
No.
Have you watched Woodstock 99?
Still haven't watched that either.
Can you please? I'll give you my password for a day.
Okay.
Watch it and then report back to us.
Yeah. I'm more of a Woodstock 69 kind of guy. War and Peace. Love and Peace.
Love and Peace. Yeah, War and Peace. Good book. You know what this is first segment, so it's always random.
Sorry.
Yeah. When we were talking about our trip to Jacksonville, I forgot to mention, we did the Topgolf, we did the skydiving, we did the ice skating, but we also went to an IKEA. I've never been to an IKEA before. Have you been to an IKEA before?
Yeah.
You have.
That's where you build your own furniture, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you haven't. You just lied to everybody.
No, I have, but it's been years ago.
Yeah, I'd never been to an IKEA, and then we were coming around the corner, and good Lord, is it massive.
Yeah.
And then, you go through, you have an arrow walkway to go through all these sections of the house, and it just seems never-ending. Right. And then once you get to the end of the line, it goes to, the big section where, if you picked out something, then you got to find it in this massive section and pick it out. I've never seen anything like it.
Are you the guy that goes and finds a recliner and takes a 20-minute power nap?
No. What I am though, they have crazy shopping carts there, that the wheels. It can move laterally because you're trying to get navigating all these spaces. So every corner we went around, we were drifting with the shopping cart because it was like a real drift. It was awesome. You could spin the cart and it would do a quick 360. So that's what I was doing.
I got you. And I can see Beth in the background going, Ryan, stop it.
No, she's up ahead of me finding stuff.
Oh, okay.
Me and Liam are back there drifting in the cart. Hey, it's a good time. I never been to an IKEA. It was wild.
I totally have a vision of this right now.
It was wild.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah.
I did not know what to expect, and that's not what I was expecting.
See, I thought IKEA is where you purchase it, and then they send it to you in many pieces, and it's your job to build it.
Any furniture that you order and get shipped to you, you've got to build.
I guess that's true.
Typically. Trust me, I know. A lot of building. No, actually, we've had some people helping us out, so it's been nice.
How do you rate your building skills from 1 to 10?
This is what always happens to me when I'm putting something together. Because, they have the instructions. And, yes, I use the instructions because I don't know how you couldn't on some of this stuff.
Are you female?
No.
Okay.
But anyway,
I don't read instructions.
When I'm building this stuff, I somehow always miss one little tiny thing. And then I proceed 3 or 4 steps down the road.
Yeah.
And then I get to it, and I'm like, oh, crap. And then I got to undo what I've done and then start over again.
Well,
because like you get these instructions in these boxes, right, and it just gives you pictures, right, and that what to do is very, very minimally described.
Yeah.
So like you have to see, okay, which way is it facing? What's it look like? All that stuff, and then you got the Allen wrench in there, so your fingers end up hurting at the end too, unless you got like a ratchet that's got the star bit in it.
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting better at that stuff.
The only instructions I basically look at is when I do Legos, or when I used to do Legos with the kids. I mean,
there you go.
But those were easy to do. But give me instructions on how to put a weed eater together. I'm out.
You just put the weed eater together without looking at it, without the instructions? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I go find the next available person to kind of help me build it.
Next available person.
So who's the first available person?
That would be me. That's not who
typically doesn't work out.
Right.
Why is that a misconception? Why is that a thing? We're not supposed to read instructions. Some big ego thing for men.
I don't know.
When did that come about?
I don't know. See, I'd
rather build it right the first time.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm the type of guy. If I can't do it in a day, then I lose interest in it. Like, I mean,
what are you building?
What,
a house? Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, I mean, we're just talking simple stuff here. If I can't do it in a day,
like a coffee table.
Yeah,
yeah, or an armoire.
Right. Yeah,
mothballs.
Could be.
I think to your point, Ryan, I think it's because we expect to look at things and be able to fix it. You know what I mean? It's
like the stereotype is a man should be able to fix something.
Well, I mean, that's the stereotype, but I think when we look at stuff, when we analyze it, it's like, oh, this should go here, this should, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
and then
common
also,
sense.
and those instructions a lot of the times are not common sense.
Whoa, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get a picture, and it like has an arrow pointing to this little tiny spot on the picture, and you're like, is that spot? Now let me look at that. Doesn't look like what I got in my hand.
Right, and so kind of going back 100 years or so, not even that far, there wasn't instructions for a lot of stuff. If you built something, it was just kind of you bringing that out of your mind.
It also depends on how you're raised too, right? Like I know nothing about cars or engines or any of that kind of stuff. And there's people they hear something, look at something. Well, not anymore because cars are so crazy, and you have to have some kind of fancy kit in order to do it, and that's why you have to go to the dealership. But
I just remember being so doomsday because, like in 06, my daughter who is 16 now, I remember we had some kind of fear that between going from the house to the hospital, if she was in labor, that we would have a flat tire. So I remember for about 2 months changing a flat, like acting like I'm changing a flat
You're just
tire.
out there in the garage.
Yeah,
we'll have you on NASCAR pit crew next year.
But you don't know what to expect. I mean,
are you a little bit of an alarmist?
I've never heard that before.
No,
I mean maybe
like worried about a flat tire.
That back in the day, I mean, you got a kid on the way for the first time. It's like all you hear from people is like, "Oh, this is going to change your life forever," and it does.
Yeah,
no lie. But you're like you're in tune trying to find like everything.
I'm just sparking the rim. It goes flat. We'll get a new rim. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, it's a good point.
Yeah,
it's a good point. But yeah, instructions. Whew. But anyway, IKEA, it was wild.
IKEA is wild.
It was wild.
Travis says, I usually have something left over, and then I say, well, if it falls apart, we know why.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's crazy now. All these, like, I've been building a lot of stuff, right? And they give you all these, they usually give you one extra of everything now. They didn't used to do that. So now you've got all these extra pieces when you're done, like Travis said, and you're like, what are these for? And then my common sense brain's, okay, there's one of each thing. So they're just giving you extra parts.
Right. Typically a washer, or a few washers.
A lot of washers.
Right.
Does a washer really do anything?
I don't know what it does.
Or is it a scam?
Yeah, no. A washer is, it's basically gonna...
It prevents rubbing.
Yeah.
And stuff deteriorating.
And it also kind of gives it that space and something else to... Yeah.
So when you forget the washer on one side, it's trouble. Or spacers.
True.
Spacers are key, too. You ever build a basketball hoop?
I don't think I have.
Talk about frustrating.
I bet.
Man, you got to do that perfect, especially when you got the spring-loaded ones. I hope the kids aren't listening because that was from Santa. They're not. They're at school.
Well, now they come with the bays.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, you would concrete that thing.
Yeah, you got to stick the pole in the ground.
Yeah, which I think's a better way of doing
100%.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, if we do another one, that's what we're going to do.
You should.
Because the base, if you fill it with sand, then how do you get rid of the sand? If you fill it with water, you got to keep putting bleach in it to keep the mold out.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, building a glass backboard, all the parts that go in it, you've got to do it exactly perfect. And you need somebody to hold the thing up, too.
Yes, you
It
do.
is not a one-person job. I can tell you that.
You got to bring this Mold Dog Invitational back around.
That is a great idea.
Job.
That is a great idea.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Man, those are some of the best times ever.
Yeah.
64 players, 32 two-person teams, double elimination bracket all the way down to the championship Memorial Day weekend.
Do you think Liam could recruit that many kids? I bet he could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'll volunteer my time.
Yeah.
We got an announcer, D. Hayes. He could announce, man.
I'll announce. I'll play with a kid who, if someone's got too many kids or something like that, hey, let's go.
Parent-child Mold Dog tournament. Kind of like your golf tournament.
Maybe
might get a little lopsided on some of the blocking, but Woo! It is 11:21. We'll go ahead and take our break. We'll get Doc A on the line, hopefully, and talk a little NBA basketball. And then when we get back at 11:40, I want to jump into. We're going to do some word association at some point today, Jay Henley. Where I'm going to say a word, you got to give us the first thing on your mind, as long as it's clear for the radio. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Tuesday. Lightly raining this afternoon and evening with a wind at 18 miles per hour coming out of the east-northeast and a high of 63. Tonight, look for light showers with a temperature near 58. Tomorrow, high around 66 and very heavily raining. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're now joined, as we are every Tuesday this time of year, by Steve Alexander, Doc A, NBA expert. Doc, how you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you guys?
Good. My first question for today is, how did the Yahtzee and everything go last week?
Oh, well, I would say it was a huge success. Played some Yahtzee, played some music bingo. Yeah, just a crazy Tuesday of voting day with no basketball. So
yeah, still wild that there was not a single game on that day.
Well, you got to have some value-added family time there, Doc A, and it sounds like you did it, so that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which one is Yahtzee the one where you rolled the dice? No, that's a serious question. I can't remember. Is it?
Yeah, it's like dice and poker with no cards.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, that's right. And you're trying to get all the combinations and all that stuff, and then once you have it, you yell Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's in the rules also, Ryan, is if you get a Yahtzee, you have to yell Yahtzee. If you don't yell, it's subject to being voided by the rest of the group if they so choose.
Well, and I feel like everybody is like, if they know you've got Yahtzee and they're waiting for you not to yell it, as soon as it passes by, they're calling you out and voiding the Yahtzee.
Mm-hmm.
I had not actually seen anyone void a Yahtzee because of someone's lack of enthusiasm. But I'd be all for it because I could see somebody flipping a table, over something like that.
No, absolutely. Those games get competitive and a lot of fun nonetheless. All right, let's jump right into it. We're about 3 weeks into the season now, and I'm going to ask you, start with this because we always start somewhere with Wemby. Do you think Wemby and Chet are going to be a big man rivalry for years to come?
Yes, and that is a good segue to what one of the things I like about doing this is I have no idea what you're going to ask me.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Like the Yahtzee question?
It's sort of like when I roll the dice, I don't know what's going to come up.
That's right. That's kind of our MO here on the Inside Drive.
It is.
I feel like you may have just rolled a Yahtzee because we have Victor Wembanyama versus Chet Holmgren tonight on TNT.
Ooh, there you go. National television.
Everybody can watch it. Everybody should watch it. Even if you are not a basketball fan, just to see these two 7'4" skinny freaks out there doing what they do. They're both in the top 5 in blocks. They both hit a ton of 3-pointers. They're both always around a double-double, and they're going to be guarding each other some. And these two teams are two of the more entertaining teams to watch in the league. And OKC's loaded. They've got Josh Giddey. They've got SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They've got Jalen Williams, who's been awesome. They've got Lou Dort. And then the Spurs have Keldon Johnson, who's a high-volume scorer. They've got Devin Vassell, which is an up-and-coming fun guard to watch. And it's just going to be a party. I've got the DVR set, and I really am super excited about watching that game tonight. In fact, I put together a little parlay on Underdog Fantasy tonight. It's $5 to win $500 if these 5 things happen.
What are those 5 things?
Luka needs a double-double.
Okay. Very doable.
Now I need to find it. Luka's an automatic double-double, right?
Yeah.
Like that should happen. So Luka needs a double-double. Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons needs a double-double, and he's helped because Jalen Duren, who has been on fire, is not playing tonight.
Gotcha.
So Beef Stew should get tons of minutes. He double-doubled his last game. He could easily double-double tonight. Chet Holmgren needs a double-double, and he's going to be fired up playing against Wembanyama on national TV. Got a little chip on his shoulder. Everybody talks about Wemby. Not that many people talk about Chet, in my opinion. So I can see him being mad and going out and going off. And then SGA needs 2 3-pointers, and Jalen Williams, who scored 30-something his last game, I think, he scored 27 or 28. He just needs to score 18 points, and I win $500. I mean, I don't see how that can lose.
Definitely not. Definitely not. The parlays never miss. But
never.
No, I know we've been talking about it a little this week because, as we mentioned, the Hard Rock betting app is back up and live here in the state of Florida. And yesterday we were talking about a gentleman who put $500,000 on it was a 4-leg parlay, all tied around the Texans game, and he hit all 4 legs and won $5.5 million. So,
good Lord, that is incredible.
But the night it opened, some other bettor put a little over $1 million on, was it Kent State plus 10.5 over Bowling Green, and they lost that one by 30. So it goes both ways, there's no doubt. But just goes to show you, when you've got open betting in a state, it can be a massive source of revenue for that state.
Well, and I think the Hard Rock you're talking about is legal in Florida. I know Underdog's legal in Georgia. It's probably also legal in Florida because it's technically not considered gambling, although those rules are pretty cloudy to me because I sure feel like 5 to win 500 is gambling.
Because that's what you're betting on, over-unders and like different stuff like that, right? It's not you're not betting on teams to win against the spread and money line, right? That's the formality.
Just all over-unders and prop bets.
Yeah, I think the sleeper fantasy in Florida is one I've heard some people using. Yeah. But Hard Rock is a full-on sports book. which is pretty exciting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's until they shut it down, of course.
I'm on the Hard Rock bet. I'm on the waiting list.
You're on the waiting list?
I'm on the waiting list.
That's good. Yeah. You're in there, though. But, yeah, Wemby's currently averaging 19.7 points per game. He's shooting 44.7% field goal percentage, 8.8 rebounds per game. And then Chet Holmgren is averaging 16.4, shooting a robust 54.9% field goal percentage and averaging 7.6 rebounds per game. So should be a huge matchup tonight. This is kind of a silly question. Does it matter for everybody you hear you talking about Wemby, yourself included? He is living up to the hype, if not beyond. Does it matter that the Spurs are 3-7 and they're probably not going to have a great season? Does that overshadow him at all, or is he kind of he's just such an unbelievable athlete that's kind of taking the precedence?
Well, I think everybody knows the Spurs are one of the youngest teams in the league, and nobody really expected them to dominate anybody this year. They've been blown out a few times, and Wemby, I mean, he's looked really, really great and dominant a couple times. He's also looked kind of lost at times. Like his game against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden was nothing to write home about. He didn't look very good. So we've seen both sides of really Wemby. We've seen more inconsistency, up and down play than we have from Chet. Chet's just kind of been out there doing the same thing every night, which is pretty cool to see. And OKC's really good, but I don't think anybody is going to be too upset if the Spurs don't win a bunch of games this year.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. And I mean, where did Chet play in college? I can't remember.
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
That's right. He was part of the Zags.
I'm just amazed. I was reading the other day that you supposedly grow all the way until the age of 26, and knowing that Wemby's like 19. I mean, is this kid going to grow like 5 more inches?
Hopefully, he's not 7'9". That would be ridiculous.
He's got a chance.
Yeah, he's probably proportionately. I'm sure that goes down as you get into your early 20s. Okay. Maybe you still grow a little bit here and there.
There's pictures and video out there on Twitter of him standing, I think I said this last week, standing next to Kevin Durant, lined up to rebound free throws, and it's a weird looking picture because he's totally towering over Durant. And Durant's 7 feet tall, so it's wild.
Very, very unique, that's for sure. Jay, I think you said you watched that Knicks game last week, and they lost the tip-off, right?
Oh, yeah, Wemby lost the tip-off last week, yeah.
Which is kind of wild to think about. But I'm sure there's a prop bet on the opening tip-off in tonight's game, that's for sure, between Chet and Wemby. Who's going to get that one?
Oh, I can't wait.
Who are you taking, Jay?
I didn't like the way Wemby jumped last week. I'm going Chet.
Hey?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'll take Wemby.
There you go. The bet has been established. Make sure you tune into TNT. A couple other questions as the season, I think, about 10 games into it. Lakers are 5-5. Golden State Warriors have been on a little bit of a skid, lost 3 straight. Anything to worry about with those two teams?
Well, LeBron missed his last game. He's questionable for his next game. That's the thing. How many games are Davis and LeBron going to play? How many are they going to miss? It has been encouraging to see Austin Reeves kind of get it going. They've gotten really good play from guys like Taurean Prince and Cam Reddish. I'd like to know where this Cam Reddish was when he played for Atlanta and the Knicks and whoever else he played for. But I think it's Portland. But, man, he looks really good for the Lakers, and he's filling in, getting some, Tommy points, some hustle points, chasing down loose balls. I think the crowd is really into Cam Reddish in L.A. right now, and I think the Lakers and Warriors are both going to be fine in the long haul, but it really depends on if, Steph Curry, LeBron, and AD can stay healthy. And then with the Warriors, the question is, does Steph have enough help? And then that's the thing. I had Bob Rathbun on, the voice of the Hawks, a couple weeks ago, and he was like, you really can't judge an NBA team until we're 20 games in. We're only halfway through that. Because a team like the Houston Rockets have somehow won. The Rockets and the Timberwolves have both won 6 games in a row. They're in 3rd and 4th place in the West. That's crazy to me. So let's see where everybody is after 20 games, and then I think we'll have a better idea.
Yeah, about a quarter of the way through the season at that point. Yes, obviously still very early. Looking at the points per game averages for all these teams, do you ever see it going down at all? It just seems like scoring continues to be at an all-time high year in and year out. Obviously, with all professional sports, you want more scoring and more excitement and all that stuff. But do you ever see that kind of maybe trending back down a little bit? I don't have like the year-over-year stats in front of me, but it just kind of seems like each year there's more flash, more talent, more scoring. In every, not the NFL this year. The unders are hitting all over the place. But what do you think about the NBA side of things?
Yeah, I mean, the Indiana Pacers are scoring 126 a game, and they're giving up 123 a game. Completely out of control. They've given up, I think they've given up a couple 150s. It's really all in the hands of the commissioner and what they want the NBA to look like, because all the rules are set up to benefit the offense right now. Like, there's already a stigma with the NBA that they don't play defense, which is not true. But the rules are set up to help the offensive players. Now, today's NBA, every guy on the court shoots three-pointers. And back in the day, Larry Bird, when he was the best three-point shooter in the league, he would shoot one or two a game. And like Curry shoots one or two every 2 minutes. And, guys like Kevin Huerter and some of these guys out there chucking threes whenever they can, but they shoot a good percentage from three, so they should be doing that. But it's all up to the NBA. If they want to turn it back into a lower scoring, more one-on-one matchup type of thing, they can do it, but they need to give the defensive players more leeway with what they can do with hand checks and stepping in front of people and whatnot.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Doc A, but let's, travel back 30 years ago. 9 players would travel down to the back end of the court. They would set up. Your guard would kind of walk up. And then towards the latter part of the game, you would start seeing fast break, full court presses and all that kind of stuff. But it seems to be just a full court press the whole entire game. Is that a good?
You mean like offensively, just pushing the ball fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole deep stat called pace, and every team wants to have the highest pace they can get and just take the ball out of bounds, fire it down the court, and go.
Yeah.
Mike D'Antoni kind of started that with his 7-second offense 10 or 15 years ago, and now everybody's trying to get shots up as soon as they can. And the whole key to like what the Sacramento Kings did last night was taking good shots. Like, it doesn't matter how quick it happens. It doesn't matter if other guys are open. If you have a good look and you think you can make it, take the shot. And, that's sort of the mentality of the NBA right now. If you get an open look, you take it.
Yeah. Well, and then going back, and I know we talked about this many months ago, I think, and we may have talked about it with you, Doc, but, the whole travel thing, the palm going up. Like they don't call that no more. Back in the day, that was a travel, right? I mean, they got to go back to the fundamentals.
You're such a traditionalist.
I know.
With your Georgia windbreaker on.
I was at a 7th grade basketball game last night, and this kid bringing the ball up the court. I was there watching one of my friend's kids play, and this kid was just turning the ball over with his hand every time he dribbled the ball. Like, he was literally carrying the ball.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are they not calling this? And I don't notice it as much in the NBA, probably because I'm just blind to it and used to it. But seeing this little 7th grade kid do it, I was like, they should be calling this. Like, this is not.
Yeah.
It's not dribbling. That's palming.
I mean, I could maybe see it in a crossover. Like if you're going to do a crossover, you have to do that.
Yeah, but like, your palm doesn't have to face the sky though when you're crossing over.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah. I mean, I got pretty fired up in my daughter's in 6th grade. She made her middle school basketball team, and she took a pretty aggressive screen last week, and I got myself. I coach most of the sports, so when I get into the sidelines, I got to listen to myself and not be loud, and I got a little excited. So tonight's or this afternoon's basketball game, I'm going to keep my voice quiet, which is very hard for me to do.
Dude, quick side note. I took my son to get his driver's license a month ago. And since COVID, they now put the parent in the car with the kid while they're doing their driving test.
What?
They have cameras set up in the car. That one camera's pointed at me, one's pointed at him, one's pointed at the road, and then the instructor is on the telephone with us on Bluetooth, giving us instructions.
So it's just you and your son in the car?
Yeah, and I'm not allowed to gesture or say a word or make a facial expression. So my kid is literally backing up over cones. Takes out like 10 of them, and I'm over there like, what the F are you doing? And the lady's like, Dad, not one more word. If you say one more word, this test is over. So I had to like cross my arms and close my eyes and just sit there as we bounced over cones backwards.
It's like, I don't think he's going to pass either way, but no, did he end up passing?
Yeah.
Nice.
He did.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh.
You're allowed a couple strikes, right?
Okay.
She was not happy about passing him, though. Well, after we ran over all the cones, she's like, okay, now we're going to go out and get on the street.
We're going to go out with real traffic.
Yeah, we're in real traffic now. I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to die. And he did great on that. He passed that 100%. So we got back and parked the car, and she's like, listen, Soren, I'm going to give you your driver's license, but listen to me. You need to pay attention. You need to know what's going on around you. You can't just be driving willy-nilly without looking at what you're running into. And I don't think she probably slept that night.
Yeah. Man, I got a very good visual of the instructor in my head right now.
I do too.
Hey, Doc, go ahead. Keep going.
I got one more thing about that, and then we can go. At the end of it, after he backed over all the cones, so we put the car in park and hang up the phone, and I start yelling at him, of course, now that we're not on tape anymore. Yeah. And she comes over and knocks on the window, and she goes, hey, Dad? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, I need you to come out here. I go out there, and she's like, there's 2 cones that are stuck under the car. I can't get them out. She's like, I need you to go get those. It's like 90 degrees. I'm on my back on the asphalt under the car trying to wrench these huge cones out from under the axle of my car. And people are just in the driver's license branch just laughing their butt off at me. So that was awesome.
Man, what a great story. I'm so glad you shared that with us. You fit in so perfectly here with our show on the Inside Drive. We talked a little bit about some basketball, but great story there. Great. Hey, Doc, real quick, well, what's the best way for people to find you?
Sportstopia is taking a little break, but that optimizer's still out there. But ESPN and RotoWire, that is the place. That's where all my stuff is. And check it out. There's tons of good betting and fantasy info out there if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We love it here. And good luck on that parlay tonight. We appreciate your time, and have a great rest of your week.
Prayers for you on the highway.
Yeah, absolutely. Your son is out there driving.
Oh, yeah, he backed 20 feet into our neighbor's yard the other day and said he didn't know he was off the road. But if I win $500, I'm coming down to Panama City Beach.
Yes, I will find you a hotel, and we will get you down here so you can come in studio and hang out with us.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later.
All right. That's Doc A. What a great story. You're listening to Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. We're back! On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdog.
Hello.
The only live afternoon show in Panama City where you can win fantastic prizes from amazing local businesses every day.
That's right.
4 to 6 weekdays. The Afternoon Underdogs.
It's mayhem.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's time to pick your path and go big and go bold from Bill Bird Kia. You can drive away in a brand new 2024 Telluride from Bill Bird Kia. The 2024 Telluride protects what matters, and it's built for the long haul. Its technology will connect with confidence, and its upscale, all-around rugged look will take you on to the next adventure. The road is yours. Bill Bird Kia, the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or BillBirdKia.com.
With With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Doc A has been a writer for like 25 years. He wrote for Roto World. Now he writes for ESPN and Roto Wire. But man, what a great story!
Yeah.
Those DMV. When you took your driver's test, did you go out on the road or was it like on a course?
It was on a course.
Okay.
Yeah. But do you remember the old movie License to Drive with Corey Haim in it?
No,
yeah,
unfortunately.
What a great one. I recommend going and watching that one. The basically with that one was that the instructor had a cup of coffee up on the dashboard, and it was a pass-fail situation where if the cup of coffee fell, the guy failed the yeah. But
got
anyways, a great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Good stuff from Doc A. Though. I mean, I was just picturing him under. It had nothing to do with sports, but it's kind of the inside drive, telling fun stories, and I visualized that. And
we had to talk about Wemby for a minute.
Yeah, we did. Wemby and Chet, they're playing against each other tonight. You took Wemby in you took Chet in the tip off.
I took Chet
because you didn't like the way Wemby jumped in that last one.
No, it was.
Do you have to jump if you're 7'4"?
Good question.
I don't think he does the dunk.
Kind of like a hop.
Yeah, a little bunny hop. Little bunny hop there, but yeah, I briefly mentioned NFL scoring being down this year. So as we were listening to Doc A's driver's test story, everything is down. If you go rushing touchdowns, you go back to 2020, you had 1.04 per game. Now it's down to 0.844 per game. Receiving touchdowns, it was 1.7 back in 2020, then 1.54, 1.38, 1.35. Everything across the board is kind of down. All touchdowns back in I keep going to 2020 because that's kind of when the bell curve peaked. And that was the COVID year too, right? So a little bit different that year. 2.88 all touchdowns per game, down to 2.34 so far this year. Again, this year is not over yet. We're a little over halfway through the season. What's interesting is 2-point conversions made are actually up. The second highest they've ever been in the last, 25 years or so. What do you guys think the reason for, and we've talked about the unders consistently, like 57% of the time the under is hitting, but what do you think the reasons are in the NFL specifically why scoring is down a little bit?
Cycle? Yeah, I mean, we go to deep, and defense I still think wins championships, right? Because you got to have the good defense. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where you go a little while with offense, great, and then what happens? The defense starts recognizing the tendencies a little bit better. The defense can adjust whenever you kind of plateau a little bit. So that's what I think it is.
I think it's sign stealing.
There's no signs in the NFL.
Oh.
That's college.
Oh, okay.
They have comms in the NFL.
That's right.
It's okay.
Dang it.
But good answer. Give us another one.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Come on.
That's all I got.
One other thing there. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Dave. I think everything kind of cycles, and the talent and the coaches and the schemes and all that kind of stuff kind of fluctuates a little bit. But I mean, it's just weird. The highest ever since 1995, and I'm going all touchdowns per game, was that 2020 COVID year at 2.88. Second highest was back in 2013 at 2.62. The lowest it's been since then is currently this year. But again, small sample or half a sample size than the rest of these years.
Well, now on the flip side of that, though, the Dolphins put up 70 in a game.
Yep, that's true. That's true. But if you take the total averages.
Yeah, no, I got
it. And then
you.
Denver's won 3 in a row. They beat the Chiefs and the Bills.
A lot of field goals, though. I mean, like even last night, a lot of field goals.
1.78 field goals made per game, which is the highest, Jay. Look at you making an observation that is accurate. It's the highest field goals made per game in the since 1995.
Interesting.
Actually, probably since they've been keeping these stats. Oh, yeah. Way down there. 1965, they averaged 1 field goal made per game.
Yeah.
Now they're averaging 1.78 field goals made per game. That's per team.
Oh, and another factor isn't there a lot of injured quarterbacks this year? Like, hasn't there been a lot of backups playing? So with that being
there's
said,
more rookie starting quarterbers this year than ever.
There you go.
That have started in a game.
Hashtag debunked.
Boy, if our show was Mythbusters, it would just be like a reel on Facebook.
That's right. Just keep going. Keep going. But yeah, that's a great point too. That matters. Quarterback play matters. Yeah. Probably the most important position out there on the field, if not the most important position on the field. Jay, who's going to replace Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M?
Oh my gosh, you're going to put me on that spot?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's some potential candidates. Dan Lanning came out and adamantly denied that he is not in the running for that job.
So Dan Lanning's in Texas A&M next year.
Yeah. However, Dabo Swinney has said he is focused on the job he has right now, but has not denied any. He's not said, I'm not taking that job. And I heard you guys yesterday, you and Brian Haddad talking about, and Dabo was one of the guys he brought up. Interestingly enough, but, Glenn Schumann is one of the guys on the name. He's currently the co-defensive coordinator there for your Georgia Bulldogs. Washington head coach, Kalen DeBoer. And like I said, Dan Lanning, but he's adamantly denied, but we know how that means. People flip all the time. I like Mike Norvell is on the list. Do you think Mike Norvell leaves Florida State to go to Texas A&M?
I don't think so. I mean, you are getting into an environment where Texas and Oklahoma will be in the SEC. And I know there's already rivalries out there, but this could turn into Texas A&M. Texas could be a bigger rivalry in the future. I mean, it's a huge job, but I just think Norvell stays at FSU. I mean, he's got it going on. Now, Travis, this is his last year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so...
But there's also rumors that the Florida State's going to make the jump out of the ACC. But I would think going from Florida State now to Texas A&M is very lateral, maybe even slightly down, in my opinion.
As far as the opportunities that you can have in the ACC, if you run the table, it's going to be a lot harder to have that same
to win a national championship. 100%.
You can possibly, I don't know, because Florida State is one of those landmarks as well, where kids want to go there. Yeah. Now that they're playing better, they want to go there even more. Texas A&M's got the money to get people over there. They do need to make a splash hire. If you hire someone with that's just a good football coach, it might lessen the degree to which recruits want to go, which I don't necessarily agree with. Yeah. But I love how Steve Barnes put that yesterday. You got to make that splash higher here. I think Dabo Swinney is the answer, because he doesn't want to work on the transfer portal. You go to Texas A&M, you got to have transfers.
Yeah. Well, and what's going to happen with Texas A&M and all their talent?
Yeah.
Is it going to be transferring out? So is that a factor going there? Like, how am I going to retain all these? They're had one of the best classes of all time, paid for, with all that big time money, but
legal.
Yeah, it's legal, so it counts. But Clemson's on, I hate to use the word decline, but let's look at the reality. Where they were from 2013 to 2019 versus where they are now is a big difference. And, maybe it's time. Maybe he makes the jump. I think a lot of the number one person out there is Duke head coach Mike Elko.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Is he a big enough splash, though?
I don't know if he's a big enough splash. I mean, that could be one, like, you want to go, you want to take a step up, maybe take Mississippi State. And, but if Texas A&M wants Elko, hey, look what he's done with Duke. That's impressive, but I don't think it's a big enough splash hire. And then for Dan Lanning and Kalen DeBoer,
you're about to go into the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You're obviously got great football programs. I just don't see them, everybody wants to be in the Big Ten or the SEC. Let's be honest. Those are the two big-time conferences, especially going into next next year with the expansion. So, yeah, I just don't see those guys, making that switch. I heard did you guys talk about Prime yesterday?
Yeah, we brought it up briefly. I don't think that there's any chance for him to go over there because Shedeur and Shiloh would be stuck over there in Colorado at that point, and I think he wants to coach them. I don't think that he's going to go to the NFL and follow them because I don't think he feels compelled at all to go coach the NFL.
Yeah.
He wants to be an impact, and it's harder to be an impact at the NFL level when you're more of a, you're managing men at that point.
Yeah, it's more of a, they're all jobs, but NFL is much more of a job. It's a business. I mean, college is turning into that a little bit, but at the end of the day, you still have 18, 19, 20-year-olds that you're trying to not only help get to the next level, but make sure they're going to be good human beings as well, because that is a job as a coach at any level there, Jay Henley, and I know you do certainly a good job at that. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm sure we won't have an answer until the season's over, which really isn't that far away.
You mentioned Schumann. I mean, the last couple of Georgia games, they have really focused in on him as a great, co-defensive coordinator. It'd be interesting to see if that does happen.
Well, Alabama and Georgia, they're kind of the farm system for coaches everywhere else, and that's where Dan Lanning came from. So you never know. But Texas A&M, obviously a big-time program. Is it, though, the same as a Florida State, as an Alabama, as I guess you could throw Clemson in there, too, a little bit. Clemson, not some. I would liken those two the same. Is it a big enough name? Obviously, they have tons of money. They're paying this guy $77 million over the next 8 years to not coach.
$26,000 a day.
Oh, my gosh.
That's wild.
That's wild.
It's like golf stuff.
Yeah. But, I mean, you think about Texas being the breeding ground of football. There should be TCU was in the national championship game last year. There should be a Texas team in the national championship every year in this NCAA championship. That's my thought.
Wow. Bold. In the actual championship game or just in the playoff?
Championship game.
Wow.
That's my thought. I mean, you got...
Before TCU, when was the last Texas team to be in a national championship? USC, Texas? When Vince Young won it?
Texas played Alabama in 2009.
That's right. That's right.
Just a thought.
The Texas people love that.
I've never, like we talked, I've never attended a Texas high school football game, but you hear about it all the time.
Oh, yeah. They made movies after it.
Yeah.
But, we've got to go ahead and take it was a quick segment because we ran a little long there with Doc A. When we get back, it'll be that time for some afternoon delight. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Not legal.
He wouldn't let,
I wasn't supposed to.
he wouldn't let you touch him where you wanted to touch him.
No. I wasn't going to get where I could get in trouble. This is a family show. I want you to know this is a family show, guys. I'm leaving.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Tuesday. Lightly raining this afternoon and evening with a wind at 18 miles per hour coming out of the east-northeast and a high of 63. Tonight, look for light showers with a temperature near 58. Tomorrow, high around 66 and very heavily raining. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The sounds of is everywhere, and the cooler weather is back a little now and then. So that means it's time for a trip to that boot store to outfit the whole family in their favorite Western wear for that colder weather on the way. And if you need quality work clothes, check out the large selection of Carhartt work clothes, boots, and shoes available at that boot store, open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30, next to Bill Bird Kia, 15th Street in Panama City. Remember, God is good all the time.
The official radio station of Auburn University football. WGSX and Nathan W. Field, Q Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
The locals love him.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. You can listen live and local on 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can also listen to us and watch us live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. Download that free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. That one you do need to search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Go check out Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoors. We will be checking it out on Thursday, Jay. I think we're going to drive the old ESPN van over there and hang out for a little while, give away, hopefully give finalists. We got 5 finalists, and we'll announce the winner early in that show. And the winner can come hang out with us at Bill Kramer GM when they pick up those tickets. Still haven't announced the time of that game yet, but that's going to be on November 25th. That's Florida State and Florida. Can Florida State remain undefeated going into the ACC championship game? We will find out that day. That's for sure. We got Ricky Barnes, Travis Peterson, Coach Olds, Steve Wiley, and Bobby. I didn't get Bobby's last name.
Yeah,
I know it.
David knows it.
Okay.
We're not going to give it away out there. But yeah.
So we're set. We're set for
We are
Thursday.
set. We had all of our trivia questions. Let's have a little fun here for a second,
Okay.
Jay, and see if you can get them correct. All right. You lived all of these. You were here. You heard it. You were a part of it. There are 2 species of alligators. One is the American. What's the other one?
Okay, Chinese.
There you go.
Yep.
1 for 1. How long can alligators hold their breath? 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. You got it.
Dang.
How many times does the tooth fairy visit an alligator in their lifetime? 2,000 to 3,000, 5,000 to 6,000, 500 to 1,000.
2,000, 3,000.
You got it again.
Oh.
What is the pounds per square inch that an alligator can close their jaws with? 2,000 pounds, 5,000 pounds, or 500 pounds per square inch?
I don't remember this one. I'm going to go with 2,000.
You're correct. 4 for 4 on questions you already knew the answer to. Brain size, dime, quarter, half dollar. This was just yesterday. I know you slept.
Mama said a quarter?
Correct. Look at you, 5 for 5 on answers you already knew. But yeah, we'll be excited to hang out there at Bill Kramer GM. They got lots of new vehicles in stock. $10,000 off those GMC Sierra trucks. I mean, these trucks nowadays are just ridiculous. They keep getting bigger and fancier, and the electronics in these things is nuts.
Yep.
But you can also check them out for all your service needs, tires at cost, and then right behind there on Frankfurt Avenue is Bill Kramer Marine or Kramer Marine and Outdoor. Their new service is what, Jay?
They'll come to you.
They'll come to you to fix your boat, get you back out on the water. You're tired of hearing 2 weeks to get your boat fixed. Check out Kramer Marine and Outdoor. All their new and used boat inventory is at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. They sell Seabourn, Sundance, Spider, all part of that CRI family. And as of a few months ago, they sell what, Jay?
Skeeter boats.
Skeeter boats. It's like your favorite thing of the day is to say skeeter. But yeah, no, go check them out for sure. It's some good stuff going on. Also, what's coming up on December 2nd?
All right, there's a marathon, half marathon, 10K, 5K.
No, there's only 1K.
There's only 5K.
And it's 5 of them.
Yeah,
yep. No
5Ks.
10Ks.
And a fun run for the kids.
Yes, and you potentially. If you visit PCBmarathon.com, you can sign up, click register there in the upper right-hand corner, and use ESPN Run as your promo code, and you'll get 10% off that one. It is proudly presented by Visit Panama City Beach and hosted by the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. That's the Daybreak 76 Panama City Beach Marathon.
And it is a Boston qualifier.
That is the worst Boston accent impression I've heard.
Okay.
Usually you're pretty spot on. Why don't you bring in our caller? It's our good friend. He's a Florida fan. Who is it, Jay?
Travis.
It is Travis.
Hey,
Travis, how are you doing today?
Good. How are y'all?
We are doing good. You're a little breaky-uppy, but hopefully it'll come in a little smooth here. What do you got for us today?
Well,
there we go.
Whenever I was heard that y'all were doing the alligator trivia thing, I done a bit of research on alligators that I haven't been that at least. I found out some crazy things.
Hey, Travis, give us a call back. It's breaking up pretty good.
He kind of sounds like Joanna a bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Is that an insult to Travis? Or are you and Joanna on okay terms?
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
just an amicable breakup.
He sounded a little AI.
Yeah, maybe he was. But I think I heard him say he was doing some research on alligators and found out some facts that he may not have known.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So have I. And Sailor has
Sailor has too.
Florida State and Florida play at 6 p.m. our time, 7 p.m. That'll be 7 p.m. Gainesville time.
Nice. Thank you for that. I'll be under the lights. That'll be a good one. Whew. That's going to be intense. You got her under control? Gosh, she's so pretty. She's so cute. Big old Sailor. Her paws are getting even bigger, Jay Henley. I don't know what you're going to do.
She's like a size 10 right now. In shoes.
In shoes. Jeez. Getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think we're going to try to get Travis back on the line. I want to hear some of the stuff he has to say before I jump into the MLB awards that are going on this week. Jay Henley. Travis, you back? Nope. Okay, just kidding. Jumping into the awards. You know who won the MLB Rookie of the Year awards yesterday?
Shohei Ohtani.
You got David chuckling back there.
I don't know. I just threw that out there.
Rookie.
Oh, Rookie
of the Year awards. Sorry, you missed that crucial part.
Miss that part.
But yes. Diamondbacks Corbin Carroll and Orioles Gunnar Henderson win the Rookie of the Year honors. Henderson, he's only 22, won the American League Rookie of the Year award after batting .255 with 82 RBIs and 28 home runs in 150 regular season games. He hit .500 in 3 postseason games. Corbin Carroll won the National League Award after leading the NL in triples, 10, earning an all-star selection and hitting .285 with 76 RBIs and 25 home runs. Not surprising there, David? Expected?
Yeah, nothing surprising there at all.
And we got the rest of the awards coming up this week. Today, Jay Henley will be the Managers of the Year. We'll go over theirs tomorrow. On Wednesday, it'll be the Cy Young Award winners. And then on Thursday, we will find out who is going to officially win the MVP for the NL and the AL. And then once that happens, we'll talk to Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards on Friday, and we will find out about that Topps buyback program. Because once those MVPs are announced, if you have one of those cards, you can bring it in, they'll buy it back for you. Then they send those cards off and get them signed and do all sorts of cool stuff. But
and before you know it, pitchers and catchers will be reporting in February.
That's it. February is right around the corner. That is for sure. But yeah, so those are your award winners for this upcoming. We got to hit that sounder soon. Don't forget it's Tuesday. What's on Tuesday?
What is today?
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
But what do we do on Tuesdays?
Oh, I don't know.
We can wait till the next segment so you can mull it around a little bit there. Yeah. But kind of some other wild fun facts. The Arizona University, who's having a good year in football, they're facing a $240 million school-wide shortage after significant miscalculations in their financial modeling. Cuts are being considered among the 23 varsity teams.
Jeez.
How would you feel as a student athlete if you signed a scholarship?
Is this the Wildcats?
Yes, Arizona Wildcats, yes. To go to Arizona, and then you find out that this money has been grossly mismanaged, and your sport could end up getting cut.
Jeez. Yeah, that would...
You would say good thing for the transfer portal, right?
Yeah, I'd be going to Arizona State.
There you go. Just going to a different part of the state there, becoming a Sun Devil instead of a Wildcat.
Exactly.
I just,
how does this happen?
That was going to be my question to you.
Yeah.
$240 million of a school-wide shortage after miscalculations. Kind of sounds like our federal government a little bit there.
Yeah, it does.
But, I saw that come through the old sports wire. But wild stuff. How do you just not have $240 million?
I think there's an overpay, underdeliver type situation going on here, and I don't know.
That could be it.
I think that's what it is.
But
they've underdelivered.
Now, Arizona is going to the Big 12 next year, Jay?
Don't know. I could look it up.
It's okay.
See.
David's back there playing with Sailor, so I can't see his head bobbing up and down. But I think they're going to the Big 12, if I'm not mistaken. Arizona, Big 12?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. God damn.
Hey, you're doing a good job with Sailor back here, sitting and shaking already.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. Yeah.
All J.
I've been working with her a little bit, so we'll see.
Did she learn anything about golf?
No, I had her at a lesson yesterday, and she yapped a little bit, and so I had to take her back home because she was just being puppy.
Yeah, she's what, 10 weeks old now?
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, there she is. There she is.
Yep.
All right, we got somebody on the line. Who do we got?
Got Travis.
Hey, Travis, welcome back. Sorry, it was just a little too much breakup to hear you on that last one, but pick up right where you left off.
So I found out, this was pretty crazy, because I just looked up, I had no idea what y'all were going to do, so I just looked up random facts.
That's smart, little research.
Yeah, so I figured out that the gender of an alligator relies solely on the temperature it is outside.
That was almost one of my trivia questions.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, the incubation period relies on that temperature when they are the eggs are being nested and all that stuff.
So if it's cold outside, I don't know what that would be, but whether it be cold or hot is if it's a boy or girl.
Yeah.
Huh.
There you go, Jay Henley.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
Catching the back end of that. So
basically, when an alligator, the eggs are laid and it's in the incubation period, the temperature determines the gender of the alligator. The baby alligator.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think they also use vegetation to make their nests, not to be confused with sand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Travis.
And secondly, it seems like on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, Florida or a gator is supposed to eat a Seminole. That's a pretty good fact right there.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes to fruition. I mean, you guys have a huge opportunity. Let me ask you that, since you brought that up. If, in fact, Florida does beat Florida State and potentially end that perfect regular season, does that change your opinion at all on your head coach and the job he's done this year?
No, I mean, I personally don't have I don't have a bad opinion on Billy as of right now. I mean, do I think that there's a lot of improvement? Dude, yes. We're losing players to commitment. That's fine, though. I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, everybody freaks out about it, but it's going to happen. And I know these are guys that you don't want to miss out on. But I mean, they get offered money, and if they don't, and I said it on the Coach James Hale show this morning, and I wish I would have looked it up again. But there was a commit that said something pretty, like he said something, and it was like it was something you could tell he was bought into the system of Napier, and he was a higher up there, recruit. So yes, I think that if he wins, or if Florida wins, which I expect them to for some reason, don't ask me why.
Hey, these rivalry games, you never, ever know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't give you factually why I think they're going to win. I just think they are. I mean, if you look at, Florida State struggle with Boston College. These other teams, some of these teams that are, they struggled with Miami. Not saying Miami's bad, but I don't think they're good.
But it's also that same thing. Like, Miami-Florida State is a similar rivalry to Florida State-Florida. And in these games, you can sometimes throw talent on the field out and the trends out, because it's like Auburn-Alabama. Auburn a couple of years ago had no business taking that game to overtime. They almost won that game. They had absolutely no business being in that position. But sometimes those games are just a little different. That's why it's rivalry week.
And comeback player of the year. Can we not get Graham Mertz on that? That was who in their right mind thought that when Billy Napier got Mertz, that he was going to have the stats he has right now.
Yeah, they've been in some pretty big even the game last week, I know they lost, but they put up a bunch of numbers, and you just pair that with a little bit of defense. Now, LSU is a very high-powered offense, number one scoring offense in the NCAA football, if I'm not mistaken. So they're competing, and I like that you're giving your coach time. It takes time, and there's, like Mississippi State firing Arnett into the... Now, he was in a losing battle. Trying to fill Mike Leach's shoes is just a difficult task given everything that happened. But you got to give your coaches time.
Now, in my NFL team, fire that daggum coach.
Hey, you're leading your division. You're currently fourth seed in the NFC right now. So look,
don't we have the same, or it's at least close to the record of the Jets right now, that we're supposed to be horrible after Rodgers got injured?
You very well might. What is the Jets' record? The Jets they're 4-5. You guys are 5-5. You played one more game.
One game over them.
You must have a bye week coming up this week.
We do have a bye week this week. But I mean, Dennis Allen is not good. Carr is not good, and I've defended Carr from the beginning of the year. I'm done. He left the game in the end of the third quarter where he had no stats at all, no touchdowns, nothing was happening. And then Jameis Winston comes in there, and I am not praising Jameis Winston. He's not that great, but he put us back in the game.
Brought you back.
I can't see how you would defend Carr anymore. I mean, the guy is not good.
It's just weird, too, because you guys have some serious weapons on the offensive side of the football.
Serious
and
weapons.
You just, I mean, it's very similar to how he was looking when he was in Las Vegas.
Olave looked better in the fourth quarter than he has all year.
Yes, and I was watching that on my one fantasy team. It was like goose egg, and then just exploded. And was that all on Winston passes?
Yeah, that was all on Winston. And, yes, Winston had 2 interceptions. But believe me, with the defense we've got, I would much rather see 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns than no touchdowns and 1 interception.
Well, the good news is you still got 7 more games, and you're right now you're in the playoffs. And the NFL, once you get to the playoffs, everything's off the table at that point. So,
but Carr's coming back in, so we can go ahead and count out of the loss.
You never know.
Just circling back around, I know we're talking about coaches, talking about Billy Napier, and I know you're kind of sitting maybe, Travis, 50-50 on the fence with Billy. I don't know. But when you look at coaches, how much do you think they make a difference come game time? Now, I know they recruit. I know that they get players ready, but don't you think there's some coaches out there that need to step back and just kind of like let players be athletes? And let's just pose the question that let's say Napier steps out of the sidelines, if you will, for games.
Well, you know, he's the play caller for Florida.
Okay, well, I mean, how much of it? I'm not discrediting coaches, but at what point does a coach need to, step aside and let them play football?
I think that's Billy's biggest problem right now. I think that's the reason why he's in such turmoil with everybody else. The fact that he is calling the plays. Remember, he was let go from Dabo and Clemson because his play calling was, what's the word? It was too conservative.
Yeah.
And which is what's going on. I think that's the biggest thing with Billy Napier that needs to change is he needs to, let the players show out.
Yeah.
Graham Mertz is accurate. He's not great on the deep ball, but he can throw one. So, let him do it. I mean, and that's, like I said, this goes back to what I say on he needs an offensive coordinator that calls plays. Or he needs to let the current, Rob Sale call.
Yeah. Well, I just know watching a lot of Georgia Bulldog games, Kirby is when something bad happens, Kirby is in the player's face, and he's in correct mode immediately after something bad happens. I don't see a lot of coaches out there doing that. Is Billy one of those guys where he's trying to correct immediate? Okay. So, I mean, like Mark Richt, loved Mark Richt. Mark Richt did not do a lot of...
Man Up event tonight. First Baptist, or is it First Baptist?
First Baptist Church.
First Baptist Church right there in Panama City off of Grace Ave. It's going to be from 5 to 8 p.m. Thank you for the segue there.
You got it. You got it. But
in fact, for the first time, I saw Billy approve of something that physical this game when they asked him after all the fighting and stuff like that between LSU and Florida. They had kind of sparked a little bit. They said, "What do you think about that?" And he said, "Well, I don't want any disciplinary. We need to be disciplined, but we got to go punch for punch. This is a physical game, and I love it. And I was like, yeah, that's the way you need to be.
Well, you got to, you're the leader of the football team as the head coach, whether you're calling the plays or not. You see these coaches, the Sabans and stuff like that. I mean, he'll fire people up, but a lot of these guys, even in the NFL now, you're seeing Dan Campbell have so much success because he's a fire him up, passionate kind of guy. And I think, some teams respond to that, some teams don't. It just depends on your personnel. But he's still, this is year 2 for Billy Napier, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he's only been in the SEC. Is it 3, David, or is it 2? Not 100%. It's 2.
Yeah, it's 2.
It just feels longer. But I mean, he's still getting his feet wet in the SEC. Essentially, he's been in the SEC for 2 seasons as the head coach, and it takes.
Randy asked me a good question this morning. Actually, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
He asked me it was somebody this morning asked me, do they fire Armstrong from defensive coordinator? What do y'all think on that? I think he's a little young, and maybe it was not the greatest hire, but it also, Florida's defense is been so bad since, McElwain and Muschamp that it looks improved.
Yeah, I kind of put him in the same category as Napier. Got to give him a little bit more time. They're trying to put their own spin on things and all that stuff. Hey, Travis, it's 12:20. We got to take our break. Thanks for giving us a call. Make sure you listen on Thursday right off the get-go of that show. And if your name is called, I know you got a little something going on at 11:30. So if your name is called, we will shoot you a message to let you know as well. Appreciate your call, Travis.
If I get it, I'll be out there.
I know you will. I know you will. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We will be right back.
Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Sunday, it's an NFL quadruple header.
He's going to go the 20, the 10, 87-yard return.
First, Colts at Patriots live from Germany. Next, 49ers at Jaguars at noon. Then Lions at Chargers at 3. And Sunday night football with the New York Jets at the Las Vegas Raiders. Coverage starts at 6:30 on your home for the most live NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Tuesday. The rest of the day, light rain and 63 with a moderate breeze around 18 miles per hour coming out of the east-northeast. Tonight, sprinkles with lows around 58. Tomorrow, raining very heavily with a strong breeze and a temperature near 66. Moving into Thursday, about the same with a high of 70 and very heavy rain throughout the day with mostly clouds in the evening. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Sports fans, we love our teams, but let's talk real estate for a moment. Meet Berg Title, your trusted local real estate title and escrow company. Based in downtown Panama City, Berg Title knows the community inside out. They handle everything from title searches to escrow services with expertise. Honest, reliable, and here to make your real estate journey smooth. Remember, it's Berg Title. Call them at 850-250-2900. That's Berg Title, your partner for a worry-free real estate experience in Panama City and Panama City Beach.
Now back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's alive! Look alive! We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Chicken. And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coming up this Friday is an opportunity to help the community. It's going to be a blood drive over there at Billburg Kia. It's going to be Friday, November 17th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. All donors will receive a $20 e-gift card, Jay Henley, a one blood blanket, and a wellness checkup, including blood pressure, pulse, temperature, iron count, and the ever-important cholesterol screening. There's good cholesterol and there's bad cholesterol.
There is.
Fun fact, Jay Henley, the human heart, on average, pumps 2,000 gallons of blood a day.
2,000.
And I guess if you're active and exercising, it's probably more than that.
Sure.
Because the heart beats faster. I'm assuming that pumps more blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's about that time, right? We almost forgot about it today. Almost let you off the hook. But it's Tuesday, so that means it is the ever-loving Jay Henley.
It's Jay's Golf Tip of the Week.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
First, let me do some breaking news.
Sure.
Don't need the sounder. Jay Henley got accepted into the Hard Rock app.
I did.
Breaking news.
There you go. 2 sounders and 1 just for you.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Jesse Spano. That's what happens when you take speed. You get excited. It's from the show, David. It's from the show.
I just
freaking great.
I know.
She had way too much going on, man. She was trying to dance, and she had like SATs going on. I mean, Jessie was just a mess.
Well, life, the pressure of life gets in the way.
Yep. It does. It does.
SAT, unless you go to Griffin High.
Who cares?
Then, hey, SATs, it's just another day.
The old SATs.
A, C, D. Did you guys do the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah.
And the Scantron? Do they still use Scantrons?
I don't think so.
Or is it all computers?
Yeah. Couldn't use mechanical pencils. You had to use the number 2.
Nothing better than a good old number 2 dipped in Ticonderoga.
But I never saw a number 1 or a number 3 pencil. Have you?
No, because 2 rules. Why would you have a 1 or a 3 when 2's the 1?
True.
It's the only time. 2nd is the best.
Yeah. Yeah, Griffin High School song should have been Christmas. Oh, Christmas tree. Whenever they're taking tests. So Christmas tree.
Oh, man.
If Griffin High School only knew what we say here down here in ES. But you're a Griffin High alum.
Absolutely. Darren Hancock, I don't know, played for the Charlotte Hornets. He's a Griffin guy. There's a ton of athletes from Griffin, Georgia. A ton of them.
You don't have to do good on the SATs to get, well, I was going to say to get scholarships, but if you're good enough, they'll find a way for you to get into the school.
That's it. That's it. But no, back to the swing tip of the week. Hey, let's keep it simple.
I really liked last week's tip, by the way.
Did you? Yeah.
Hammer and a nail.
Hammer and a nail. Yeah. Let's do.
We listened to Florida Georgia Line on the way to Jacksonville as well.
Or is it the Georgia Florida Line?
Well, the name of the band was Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
Is there not? I don't think they're together anymore, right?
They broke up right before Gulf Coast Jam. Like
they put on a really good show. However many years ago that was.
They did.
It was a good time.
They did.
It was a good time. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt your tip of the week.
Swing tip of the week. Hey, back to balance, back to rhythm. If you're out practicing and you have your feet together, and you're swinging and you lose your balance, you're swinging too hard at it.
And when you say feet together, you mean like touching together,
yes.
right?
Yeah, if you're swinging, if you are struggling with rhythm and balance, feet together, hit some wedge shots. When you get to a point where you're kind of tipping over a little bit or you're losing your balance, you're swinging too hard.
There you go.
There's the swing
tip of the day. You don't want to be tipped over and poured out.
You got that right.
Keep that posture and that balance. But that's also a good tip for when you're working on rotation as well, because a lot of people, when they're in their stance, they'll sway from right to left. So if you put especially if you take a driver, not trying to hit it full speed by any stretch of the imagination, and you just tee it up, put your feet together, you've got to rotate to hit that ball, and it'll help promote the rotation as well.
Yeah. You know, and that's the other thing. I was working last week with a guy who was swaying a lot. And, you know, this time of year we have long shadows at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. It's depressing.
And, and so use your shadow as a teaching aid. Put 2 clubs along your shadow of your legs on the outside and make sure that you don't sway outside of the 2 clubs. So use your shadow. I think it's a great teaching aid.
That's a great teaching aid. You and the golfer.
Yep. A God-made teaching aid. Your shadow. Yeah,
the sun.
That's it.
Center of our solar system. The sun does not move. We've crossed this bridge before.
We figured that. I figured that out.
Yeah.
Just
don't put me in that category. Don't say we. That was you. Yes, we all orbit around the sun.
Yeah.
That's the length of the year on that planet. Closest planet to the sun. Go.
Don't know.
Oh my gosh. Mercury. Come on.
Venus, then Mars. Mavimshnup. We use from Saved by the Bell.
Mars is not.
Oh. Okay.
We are.
Oh.
This is so good. Solar system. Oh, man. I got a rules story that's interesting. You know, we talk about rules of golf every once in a while. This happened in the Hong Kong Open, which concluded Sunday with one of the tensest rules controversies of the year. I can't pronounce this particular golfer's name, but we're just going to go with Pachara as his first name. Last name is like Kwong Won Tam. He's from Thailand. Anyway, Pachara David, kill me back there. He was the leader by one. Blocked his shot on the blocked his tee shot on the 16th hole at the Hong Kong Golf Club in a snarl of trees and bushes to the right of the fairway. Filling out Pachara's group were Liv Star, Cam Smith, who was one off the lead. You also had Ben Campbell of New Zealand. A lot of these guys play in different tour events in the off season just so they can continue getting reps because everybody's just as good. We talk about that all the time. When Pachara arrived at that area where his ball had disappeared, he ventured into the foliage to find it. He successfully located and identified the ball. The key there, Jay, you got to always identify your ball, right? You can't assume it's your ball because if it's not, then you get another penalty. Yeah. But assessing whether he could get a club on the ball took far longer. As he and his caddy determined whether the ball was playable, they tugged on and pushed back branches and vines in the vicinity. The main obstructions were what appeared to be a large dead branch in his swing path, as well as a smaller branch nearer to the ball. A rules official also shuffled into the bush to examine his lie. The deliberation took nearly 20 minutes, with Smith and Campbell closely policing the situation. The playing partners are clearly concerned, Dougie Donnelly, a commentator for the Asian Tour Media, said on the air. It's all becoming a little bit chaotic. There's a lot of head shaking going on. Not just head shaking, outright accusations of rules breaking. He's moving stuff all around, Campbell barked as he pointed towards the vines in front of his ball. Campbell also said that the presiding rules official, he's broken these branches here. Look at that. These just got broken. Wow. Cam Smith, also voiced some protestations. One of the rule in question, Jay, which this is why I'm telling this story, because this is a very common thing that people don't realize, but in the rules of golf, Rule 8.1, your actions that improve conditions affecting your stroke. Actions that are not allowed. Move, bend, break, or any growing or attached natural object or a movable obstruction. Integral object or boundary object or a tee marker for the teeing area when playing a ball from that teeing area. Move a loose impediment or a movable obstruction into position, such as to build a stance. Alter the surface of the ground, remove or press down sand or loose soil, remove dew, frost, or water. You shouldn't be out there with frost in the first place. But actions that are allowed. In preparing or making a stroke, you can take any of these actions, and there is no penalty if doing so improves the conditions or conditions affecting your stroke. So you're allowed to do these things, and if by doing it, it improves your conditions, it's no penalty to you. Fairly search for your ball by taking reasonable actions to find and identifying it. Take reasonable actions to remove loose impediments and movable obstructions. Take reasonable actions to mark the spot of your ball, lift and replace your ball. Ground your club lightly in front or right behind your ball. Obviously, you can't do that in a bunker. Fairly take your stance by reasonable actions getting to your ball and your stance, but when doing so, you are not entitled to a normal stance or swing, and you must use the least intrusive course of action to deal with the particular situation. Making a stroke or the backswing for a stroke is made, but when your ball is in a bunker, obviously you can't touch the sand. On the putting green, you can remove sand and loose soil and repair damage. That has changed over the years. And then the last and not least that you can do, move a natural object to see if it is loose. But if the object is found to be growing or attached, it must stay attached and returned to nearly as possible as it originally was.
Back to the Tiger Woods big rock over in...
That's a loose impediment.
That's a loose impediment.
If you can move it, and, it was always kind of argued that he got half the crowd to help him do that. But so the key on that, I know that's a lot of boring stuff, but getting back to it, the rule in question was 8.1a, which states players cannot take any of these actions if they improve the conditions affecting your stroke. Move, bend, break, or any growing, naturally attached object or movable instruction. So basically what Campbell was saying, there was a big dead branch there that you can move because it's dead and not attached, but in doing so, he was pulling all these vines and all this other attached stuff and getting it out of the way of his stance. And Campbell was very adamant about that he was clearly breaking the rules of golf. However, The rules official did not deem that he had broke the rules of golf, and they continued on. But it actually went. He actually pitched his ball out to the edge of the fairway. He went on to make a double bogey, dropping him one back of Smith. And Campbell played the closing hole, and he knocked it to 15, made a birdie, and ended up winning. So Campbell, the one that was upset with what this particular golfer was doing, ended up winning in the first place. But I tell that whole story because how many times are you playing with somebody and their ball's in the trees or in the woods, and they go in there and they back their body up and move branches and stuff out of the way and then make a swing?
I've seen it a number of times.
That is a violation of the rules.
Yeah. And that's why I'm not playing pro golf, because I think you should be able to do that.
Yeah. The key to that, you can move stuff that's broken and not attached.
But you said bend.
But if you bend, break, or move anything that is growing live and attached to improve your lie, it is a penalty.
What if your buddy breaks the branch and then you're just removing the broken branch and you don't witness him breaking the branch?
Then you would be good. Collusion.
There you go.
But typically, if you're playing a better ball of partners, that might be a little dicey.
All right.
And not best ball, just like you're playing around together, but you both want each other to shoot great scores.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun. Snapping all this stuff. And
oh, look, your branches are broken.
Yeah,
what a miracle.
You might as well bring a chainsaw out there and just start hacking them down to give yourself a better life.
And that's what I've had to get used to over the years of playing tournament golf is like when you start playing tournament golf at a young age, you can get in your mind and be like, oh, I hope I don't do this. Oh, God, I hope I don't do that. You can't play good golf in that type of mind frame because there's so many rules.
Well, yeah, and that's why rules officials are so important. And that's, on the flip side of that, I've rules officiated a lot of different tournaments, and that's why I always carry around the rules book with me.
Yeah.
And unless I know 100%, I'm not going to give a ruling without double checking and looking it up because it's a huge thing and it affects. David, your eyes got real big.
Well, you remember when you brought, that's why, my bad on the facial expression.
No, you're good.
Because it takes us totally off. But you remember when you brought up that player over there in England pertaining to hockey with the skate blade?
Oh, yeah.
That guy is arrested on suspicion of manslaughter.
Whew, whoopsie pie.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I mean, in playing hockey and talking to a lot of other hockey players, stuff happens accidentally, but your leg doesn't flip up like a rocket like that when you get hit. There was how, I guess that's going to have to go in front of a jury or something like that.
Yeah, and they haven't even released the name of the guy who it was who hit him with the skate.
Gotcha. Well, wow. I know the NHL is experimenting now with the old neck guards, and a lot of leagues are requiring it now. We had to wear them in high school.
Did you?
Yep, because of that very reason.
Yeah.
Skate blades. It's not sharp if you just push it on your hand, but when you start sliding it, that thing is vicious. Yeah, that was a crazy freak accident over there in England. He was a former NHL guy.
And the more you are on the ice, the sharper it gets? It doesn't.
It dulls it down.
I got you.
Yeah, because you got to sharpen your blades quite often.
Okay.
Depending on how much hockey you're playing. Like NHL guys, I'm sure their skates are sharpened before every game.
Yeah.
That's what your equipment manager does. It's an art form. Sharpening a skate. You really got to know what you're doing. Because if you go too deep with that hollow, that's what, I used to go to Play It Again Sports to get my skates sharpened. And they knew me at the end of because we did it enough. But if you really go deep hollow, you're going to dig in aggressive. It's kind of like golf. When you get your lie angle fitted, if you are, your toes digging in, you want to raise that toe up and make that club a little more upright.
Yeah.
Same thing with hockey. If you're very aggressive and you cut in and you dig hard, you're not going to want your skates to have that hollow be as deep because it's going to make it sharper. It's kind of finding that happy medium. But nothing's worse than jumping on the ice with a really dull pair of skates, which you get most times when you're skating at a public rink.
Well, yeah, and as a good skater, you know it from the get-go.
Oh, as soon as you step on that ice, you can feel whether you're digging in or not. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I like the little rules story there that came through the old golf wire.
I see it so many times. It's there's so many rules.
This is crazy. I'm not trying to take you off on another tangent, but
that's what we do.
Remember,
that. Yeah.
FDU remember them from March Madness. So apparently they've been watching film in a community shower, and they're not doing that anymore. And this is one of the top headlines on ESPN.
Community shower.
Interesting.
Are we talking Michigan or what is it?
Talking FDU.
Fairleigh Dickinson University. You know, they had a big year last year in basketball.
No, what this is, they're not actually watching it in the shower, though. It used to be a shower, and because they have no room.
Gotcha.
But that's such a misleading headline.
We misled that one.
Well, we did.
No, I took it. Yeah.
Did you read a little
So
bit
their
more? It's
facilities weren't great, so they had to watch film on games.
But why not make the headline like? Obviously, to get people to click.
Yeah,
like,
it works.
FDU gets new facility or something like that instead.
Fairleigh Dickinson University used to have to watch film in the shower, and now they have their own film room.
Yeah, we like
because
to
of the
kill
success.
2 or 3 birds with one stone around here. Get clean, get smart. Yeah,
it worked. The click happened. That is for sure. Jay, I'm going to do some word association in this last segment.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's all sports related, so just don't go too far off topic. Okay, I did want to get this one in real quick before we head to break. I don't know if you saw Quinn Ewers has 90% sure he's coming back to Texas next year.
90%.
That's a very weird percentage. Why don't you just say, I'm coming back next year?
Right.
Leaving that 10% that vague. But, I mean, if he comes back next year, what does that mean for Arch Manning?
I was about to say, I think that's where that 10% is, because you know he's going to have a sit down after the bowl game and everything with Steve Sarkisian, the head coach over there. If Sark wants to go with Arch Manning, then,
there's your 10%.
But Quinn Ewers should not go to the NFL after this year. You know what I mean? You've got enough potential there to raise your stock. Come back to college. It's not like you can't be making money over here. So come back to college, even if you got to transfer out or whatever. And I'm not sure, but I think Dylan Gabriel's on his way out of Oklahoma. I'm not 100% sure on that. But if so, there you go.
Yeah. Well, and they're going to the SEC next year. Yeah. So interesting to see how all this stuff will kind of shake. I feel like you're seeing more of that than ever, where guys are staying longer.
Yeah.
And the NFL money is obviously extremely way better than NIL money, but not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're a first round pick, top 10 pick, your signing bonus is massive. But if you're a Quinn Ewers and you go in the third round, your signing bonus isn't near as big. And if you can still make some of that NIL money at Texas and increase your draft stock like David was just talking about there, why not?
And you also more than likely are going to get your degree if you stay for the full 4 years. And then if football at quarterback, is football even going to work out for you? You're talking about a maximum of 64 guys that really make any type of money. And so you'll have something to fall back on there.
Absolutely. And now, I forgot to mention it when it came out, but underclassmen are now eligible for the All-Star games. So I guess it's not going to be called the Senior Bowl anymore. So, and maybe it still will be, but...
Well, they have multiple All-Star games. I would imagine the Senior Bowl would stay specific on seniors, but I'm not sure about that, so...
I don't know. But, like, guys like Caleb Williams and stuff like that, even though they're not seniors, they can play in those games.
No.
Which I think I think is a good move, because it's going to bring more eyes to those games, like the one there in Mobile.
Yeah, which is a really cool event.
Yes. I think we should go to that this year, Jay.
Oh, that would be great. Keith and Allen went
they went last year,
didn't they?
Absolutely, yeah. And David Hayes.
Oh, and D. Hayes.
We can take the bus, the van.
Yes, we could.
All right, when we get back, it'll be our final segment on this somewhat cloudy Tuesday, but I don't think it's really raining too hard yet, so get out there and do something fun.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards in Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, Farm to Radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot air. So hot it hurts. So hot air.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I guess Jay's just going to sit this one out.
He's on the boat with Sailor.
There you go. Ooh, I like that. Little pun there. Got to give a big shout out to the University Academy boys soccer and girls basketball teams. Obviously, both my kids go there, so they're going to get some love. But the boys soccer team plays Breakfast Point at Breakfast Point this afternoon. And then on Thursday, they play Jinx at the Public Sports Park. Go out and support those teams if you're a Breakfast Point, if you're a Jinx or a University Academy. And then the girls basketball team, we got a big matchup this afternoon. Did you lose the dog? Jay. They got a big matchup this afternoon against Breakfast Point at Breakfast Point, and they also play Jinx on Thursday. So very, very much excited to watch Ryan play and the rest of the University Academy Eagles. So, yeah, everybody just left. He lost the dog?
She snuck out.
She snuck out? Like she hit the doorbell and was gone?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, she's just right there in the hallway.
Gotcha. She's like, I am done with today. I want to get on to my moving. She's probably used to going around a lot.
Yeah.
So.
She's funny, too. Like, whenever you let her outside and she kind of, the athletic, clumsy side of her still there. So, yeah.
She's learning to grow into her body. I think that's going to get more interesting as time goes on because she's going to be a big girl. That is for sure. I can't do word association if you're not here.
I know. I'm back.
Good. It's all good. Like Doc A said earlier, got a big game matchup tonight. Fun NBA game to watch. That's going to be the San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. You got Chet Holmgren versus Victor Wembanyama. That's going to be, I believe, on TNT 6:30 our time. So no football tonight, but a lot of. The Spurs are 3-7. Oklahoma City's having a good year, 6-4, but a lot of flashiness in that game. A lot of excitement there.
Yeah.
Jay, you want to do some word association?
I would love it. So
it's literally the first. Sailor wants to, clearly. It's literally the first thing that comes to your mind. Just make sure it's not something bad.
Sure.
Because we're on the radio.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. It's all sports related.
All right.
So, and we tested it earlier in the golf shop, and you did good.
I feel like I'm going to be just a Joe Schmo here. Like you're going to know exactly kind of where I'm. Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm going with it.
All right.
Live. Greg Norman.
Okay. Good. NBA.
Wembanyama.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Football.
Georgia Bulldogs.
College football.
Georgia Bulldogs.
NFL football.
Buffalo Bills.
That wasn't your first thought.
Yeah. What was your first thought?
Atlanta Falcons. Yeah.
You see, you're
still in love.
You can't get rid of them, can you? Hey, they may make the playoffs.
I bet he watches the Falcons more than he watches the Bills, or at least watches the scores.
Hey, there's paperwork that you filed.
There is.
You don't got to follow that. It's just a divorce. Rip it up and get back
That's
with
true.
them.
Get it annulled.
Yeah,
You
right.
can go back with the Falcons if you want.
Yeah, we'll see. Arthur Smith's got to go.
You and every other Falcon fan there.
It's okay, man. It's just one of those things that you learn to deal with.
That's it.
To be in love, you have to invest in the love.
Yeah.
So invest
Gotta
in
work
your
on
Falcons.
it. Yeah. It's a relationship for a reason.
It is. It is.
You got to work at it.
Through the thick and
little,
thin.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
It's just been thin a lot lately.
Yeah.
Not so thick. Although you're bringing down the Bills apparently, so maybe it's not them.
Maybe
maybe you need to look in the mirror.
Maybe I do.
Don't ever like the Niners, please.
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
can come over to the Titans. It ain't going to change a thing.
Yeah, maybe a reverse psychology.
There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, good. All right, Braves.
David Justice.
You failed.
Ooh.
Was that the first thing that came to your mind?
Yeah.
So there was that much blank space before you said David Justice?
David Justice,
All right,
yeah.
That's good. I like that. All right, what else did I write down? I did write down Falcons.
Arthur Blank. Yeah.
Gotcha. Bama.
Nick Saban.
Georgia.
Kirby Smart.
Coaches, huh?
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
You know how many people you would say that to these days, and they might would say Taylor
Swift. Yeah, that's why I wrote them in. It's good. Probably a lot of people.
Yeah.
Probably if you said Travis Kelce, people would say Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's changing lyrics.
Yeah,
songs in live performances.
We thought that the relationship was cooling off, but then she said Karma is what, Travis Kelce, or Karma is my Kelce, something like that.
Something like that. Like
exactly.
Karma is the man.
Karma is the man on the Chiefs.
Yeah, there you go.
I still think there's a rumbling, man. She's grasping
She
for
ran
straws.
to him out of the concert the other day.
Did she?
Yeah.
No,
I think when you're not seeing a ton about it, that just means that kind of shows that it's a little bit more real than what people expect to some, I think
that's fair to say.
Assuming, but
yeah, when you see stuff coming out of her camp more so than like reporting on it.
Yeah.
But soccer.
There it is. That's the thought.
Just laughing. That's the number one sport in the world, my friend. Come on, you got to give me something. Let's start over.
Man.
Soccer.
I know.
You're obviously thinking
green grass.
Green grass. That's what word association is. There's no right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The psychologist wouldn't have accepted or a therapist, whatever, wouldn't have accepted your answer right there because it's got to be bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. You got to hit it quick.
Okay.
You got to hit it quick. All right. I didn't have soccer on my list, but we added that one in there.
David's getting way too much fun from this.
I enjoy it.
As he should. PGA.
Tiger Woods.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. U.S. Open.
Which one, U.S. Open?
That's not how this works, Jay.
Are we talking tennis, golf?
Doesn't matter. It's
US
word
Open.
association.
Shinnecock Hills.
There you go.
Ooh, from the story.
Yeah.
I like it.
See, it's still fresh in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Masters.
Tiger Woods.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Video games.
The NBA Jam.
Ooh, I like it.
You're unfair.
He's heating up. Man, that was such a good game. Olympics.
Atlanta.
I like it.
Yeah.
That is great.
1996.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That wasn't on my list either. Now I'm just grasping at straws here.
I'm just begging to take that paper from you and me flip the script here and you do it.
Do it.
I like that.
I ain't scared.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it right now.
But I mean,
I want to try one real quick while you're passing the paperwork over to him. Shirts.
Polo.
Okay.
I
was going to see if he was going to say moose because it's.
Oh, yeah.
In case you can't
see what he's paying attention to.
Yeah.
I would have said golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here, I've got some written down here, but you can also pull them out of your head.
Okay.
That's my chicken scratch. Leave it alone.
Let's see here. Let's go. Oh, where? You got a lot of stuff happening here.
Yeah, that's what happens when you prepare and you have a spreadsheet and you write stuff down on a piece of paper.
Ron, you must be very smart. You have scratchy handwriting.
I know. It's a fact. They're in that little section. Did you see them? They're all kind of jumbled together.
Hockey.
Devils.
PGA.
Cheaters.
Live.
Money.
NBA.
Basketball.
College baseball.
Coastal.
Falcons.
Suck.
Chiefs.
The best. Right now.
Georgia.
Bulldogs.
Bama.
That's my thought.
Oh, okay.
Just a cringe.
I got you.
That was Dynasty is what I should have said.
Soccer.
Fun. I like playing soccer.
Volleyball.
Awesome.
Movies.
Scary.
Florida.
Hot.
Georgia.
Jay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Jay is the embodiment
of Georgia. I should. Griffin. SATs. Yada, yada, yada.
Beach.
Ooh, Sandy.
Oh, man. Let's see. Florida State.
Seminoles.
Let's see. Panama City.
Ooh, Emerald Coast.
There you go. Braves.
I lapsed. Chris McLean sent a text message, and I wonder what it says. That's why I looked. Oh, he's in too. Hard Rock. Hard Rock must be letting everybody in today.
Here we go.
Pay attention to your Hard Rock app. Check your emails. All that good stuff. Get in, that's for sure. What was it? Braves? Collapsed.
Oh, good one.
Oh, man.
Hard Rock.
Betting.
Pacific Northwest.
Seattle.
British Open.
Cold.
U.S. Open.
Hard.
PGA Championship.
Block.
Ben Hogan.
Best.
Arnold Palmer.
Sweet tea.
Tiger Woods.
Ugh.
Hey, that's how you know when it's real good, when Bama gets it. Oh,
Yeah.
So does Tiger.
So does Tiger.
That's right.
It's not a word, I know.
But it's your association.
I filtered my actual response.
Emotional association.
Yes, emotional association.
Thanksgiving.
Friends.
Christmas.
Gifts. I don't like that, but that's what the first thing that came to my mind was.
New Year's.
New beginnings.
The Masters.
Engagement.
Oh, good, man. I challenged you there. That was a good one.
And I hesitated a little bit because I was trying to get the word out.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to clip that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here, let me get you going again. All right, we'll do it a little more localized.
Golf clubs.
Yeah. Bay Point.
Golf.
There you go.
Yeah.
Instruction.
Fun.
Kids.
Tiring.
That's good. That's what word association is supposed to be. And I mean, that's just letting it fly.
Yeah.
You want to do something to David?
Sure.
I'll let you do it. I'll chime in here in a second.
Flag football.
Team Dynasty, baby.
Dynasty on me. Dynasty on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kids.
Don't got none.
Hey.
Not tiring.
Yes. No, it's good.
Let's see. Fantasy football.
I was gonna say favorite, but I mean, entertaining.
Yeah.
ESPN Radio 104.3.
Job.
Bingo.
Favorite football? No, hold on.
That's a question.
That is a question.
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans.
Mediocre.
Alabama.
Better than mediocre. Dynasty. We'll go with Dynasty.
It was good.
Dad.
Mentor is like what really comes to my mind, but it's not mentor. Best bud. How about that?
There you go. Yep.
That was a good one.
Let's see.
I love word association.
Yeah.
This is good. I enjoy
Great
this.
exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pine trees.
The needles.
I would have said pollen.
Yeah.
Oof. Makes you think of the Masters.
Yeah.
That's right.
Masters week, you always see the green clouds floating around everywhere. But somehow Augusta National didn't have them.
That's
I feel like they hosed down their pine trees every evening.
Probably.
All right, we only got about a minute left to go, Jay. So
Dog.
Sailor.
Yeah, that would have been mine too.
Got to get Chipper some
Chipper.
love too.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah.
That's fun.
It is fun. And because you just, it's fun to do with people too off the radio, because sometimes you can get some real honest answers. Because if they're truly just saying what's the first thing on their mind, the kids do that sometimes in the car, but then they end up saying just the same thing over and over again.
Well, it's hard when two things hit your mind at the same time.
It's like which one do you say? Yeah.
But it frees you. It should be a freeing up kind of thing. That's like in the golf swing. It's like it's just free. You got to free it up. You just you got to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. We appreciate you hanging out with us today. Don't forget about the Man Up event over there at First Baptist Church in Panama City. It starts at 5 p.m. Mark Rick will be the speaker. David Hayes and the Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. You've been listening to The Inside Draft. We appreciate you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow.